And good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. I'm your host, Russ Renault, and welcome in on this Saturday night following UFC Fight Night from the Apex in Las Vegas. So I want to appreciate everybody stopping by. You know that you can subscribe and you'll always know when we go live because we're not always on at the same time. We come on right after the fights, and just depends on when the fight card started and then when it ended. So it just ended a few minutes ago. So if you subscribe, then you'll see us whenever we pop up. And so when we have the big pay-per-view events, usually we do a live main event coverage. I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later in the show, that we won't be able to do main event coverage next weekend, but we'll try to pick it back up in August, the next time that we have the pay-per-view, because we love doing that. Really successful, really a lot of fun, and so we're really disappointed that we can't do that next weekend. So let's get right to it. We've got the card from the Apex tonight, and then we'll go into our UFC 304 preview. So usually these Apex cards, we can run through them pretty quick, and so we'll get to that preview pretty soon. So let's just talk about this main event that just went down, just went final. So what a performance by the 5th ranked strawweight in the world, Virna Jandiroba, getting an armbar on Amanda Lemos, the 3rd ranked fighter in the women's strawweight division. And there's armbar in the second round, and Jandiroba was looking for that submission the entire time. Got the takedown in the first round. Lemos did catch her with the nasty elbow that had a cut over the right eye of Jandiroba, but she came back, got the body triangle, was looking for that rear naked choke early on in the second round. And then when Lemos was able to break free, Jandiroba just took the arm and then got the tap. So what a performance. What great show of wrestling. Great fight, and just a really masterful performance that will set Jandiroba up very well going forward. So you could see a title shot very soon coming up, because we've seen just about everybody, and they said it on the broadcast. The only 2 people that Zhang Weili has not fought are Virna Jandiroba and Tatiana Suarez. So those are huge names. Suarez, real iffy. If she can stay healthy enough to, she's undefeated still, but it's been so long since Suarez has been, able to keep healthy enough to stay in there long enough to warrant a title shot. So you would think that Jandiroba is next for Zhang Weili. It would make sense at this point. So there we go. That's the main event. And let's just run down a little bit more of what we saw tonight. Go to that co-main event, Steve Garcia and Sung Woo Choi. That's a featherweight matchup. And Steve Garcia with a first round TKO, just catching Sung Woo Choi with the left hand. It wobbled him, and then able to follow it up with another left that floored him and then finished him off with a ground and pound. So a nice featherweight win for Steve Garcia, 4 straight knockouts. And as Daniel Cormier said, this is the longest in the UFC in any division right now. So he called out Dan Ige. And, Dan Ige wants the sphere at Noche UFC, September 14th. That would be also UFC 306. So who knows? I think Dan Ige probably gets somebody a little bit higher ranked, because Garcia may enter into the rankings after this, but that's a tough call. That's a tough call. It's a nice call out and maybe a good matchup, but I think Dan Ige is going to get who he wants and not who Steve Garcia wants. So we'll just see how that goes. So as we run down the rest of the main card, Kurt Holloway defeating Kenan Krzyzewski with a unanimous decision, a lightweight matchup. So a nice performance. Those 2 went at it. And that may be fight of the night material. You guys can look at that and tell me how that goes if you see it on social media, just to see who ends up getting that fight of the night bonus. But that was a great fight. Those 2 went at it. Holloway trying to put him away, but just couldn't do it. So we had Bruno Silva with a nice win over 15th ranked Cody Durden in the flyweight division, TKO in the second round, finishing him off with the punches. And Dooho Choi defeating Bill Algeo in the featherweight division with a knockout in the second. And just the one other fight that we want to mention, there's other ones on the card, but Miranda Maverick defeating Dion Barbosa. I know Miranda Maverick really wanted Tracy Cortez in this matchup of women's flyweights, but goes in and gets a unanimous decision, gets the win, and maybe that matchup with Cortez happens down the road now at this point. So that'd be a lot of fun to watch. And Miranda Maverick, really active card collector, really a lot of fun to follow her, and just be a fan of some of the people that we keep an eye on card wise, and people who collect their own cards. It's pretty fun. So that is UFC Fight Night from the Apex. So now we can switch over and talk about the UFC action coming up here in the next couple of weeks. So you see here next weekend, obviously this is massive, and I'm really disappointed that we're not doing this live. We're going to have to go Sunday show next weekend, and that's really disappointing. So just had something come up, and I'm going to be able to watch it. I just won't be able to get on here afterwards. So UFC 304 from Manchester in the UK, July 27th, next Saturday. So Leon Edwards putting the welterweight title on the line finally against Leon Edwards against Bilal Muhammad. These two years ago, Bilal Muhammad stepping in on short notice to take on Edwards, and that bout ended with an eye poke. Muhammad couldn't continue. It was pretty nasty, couldn't see. And so he's been looking for that rematch ever since. And Edwards been ducking him a little bit. So as far as Bilal Muhammad's concerned, he has been anyway. So we'll run down some picks here in a little bit as we go through the fights. We'll kind of give our picks on the main card. But the one, obviously I'm really interested in is the co-main event, heavyweight championship on the line between the interim champion Tom Aspinall and fourth-ranked Curtis Blaydes. And this is similar to Edwards and Muhammad. Curtis Blaydes gets that win over Tom Aspinall 2 years ago, but the injury to Aspinall predicated that. So that fight lasting 20 seconds before Aspinall's knee gave out. And so he's been looking to avenge that. And Curtis Blaydes looking for a title. That's what he's been hungry for. So each has what the other wants. So this is going to be a great fight. I love it. Love Tom Aspinall. And, I have nothing against Curtis Blaydes either. But, I'm just love watching Tom Aspinall fight. That's basically all it comes down to. So then we have King Green, formerly Bobby Green, ranked 15th in the lightweight division, taking on Paddy Pimblett, his return to the octagon. In the flyweight division, a great top 10 matchup here. Number 6, Muhammad Makayev against number 8, Manel Kape. And in the featherweight division, a top 10 matchup here. That's awesome to round out this main card. Number 6, Arnold Allen versus number 10, Gigi Chikadze. And we pulled out some of these cards just to give something else to look at today. Some of the stuff we still have hanging around. Some of the numbered cards we have. Leon Edwards, XR from 2023. So that one's numbered to 99. And the Gigi Chikadze also numbered to 99. The contenders, those both from Chronicles. Got some other stuff we can look at in a little bit. Women's strawweight matchup, Molly McCann, Bruna Brazil, Nathaniel Wood against Danielle Pineda. In the featherweight division, those are the big ones on those prelims. So let's talk a little bit about how we think these are going to go. So as I've said before, and it is rang true, so many times that whoever I want to win the main event, the other person always wins. And I'm really torn on this one because I want to lean Bilal Muhammad, that I personally want to win just because I think Leon's been ducking him, and that's the reason why I want Bilal Muhammad to win. But I just think Leon's too good. I think Leon wins, and so that's what I'm picking. I want Bilal to win, but I think Leon's going to win. So, so if you stick with that, that should be your bet. This is all for fun and entertainment. Do not take what I say and bank on it. So, but that's what we're picking here. Edwards doesn't hold true for the rest of the card, though, usually. That's only a main event thing, so I'm going Aspinall here in the co-main event. And, man, the Bobby Green, Paddy Pimblett fight is tough because everybody wants to count Paddy out, but he just has a way about him. But I think King Green gets this one done. But I think it's a lot closer than people think it's going to be. Then I'm going Muhammad Makayev. I'm pretty confident in the Makayev one. But Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze, I want to say this Arnold Allen pretty significantly, but I think Giga Chikadze makes this a fight. And I think this is a fight of the night contender right here. I think Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze may be the best fight on competitive wise on the main card. So yeah, I like that one a lot. So those are our picks. We're going Edwards, Aspinall, Green, Makayev, and Allen. So those should be all favorites. So it's not going to happen that way. If I was going to pick something to happen weird, I would go Bilal and Paddy. It's so weird for me to say Paddy Pimblett, but I just have a feeling about that. It's just a weird matchup, and so I'm gonna go Bilal and Paddy if you're gonna go if you're gonna pick something else. So there you go. So that is UFC 304. So now let's look at the rest of the action coming up from Abu Dhabi on August 3rd. We got Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov in the bantamweight division. Just learned just minutes ago, I didn't have time to update the slide, but Nick Diaz is out of this co-main event against Vicente Luque. He has travel issues, quote unquote, in the story that I read. So going to have a new co-main. The next fight is obviously a co-main worthy event. Marlon Vera and Davison Figueiredo in the bantamweight division. So number 4 against number 6. It's not a huge loss in this one. It is because you want to see Nick Diaz come back, and this is a return of Nick. But disappointing in that regard. But at least there's more on this card to make up for it. So you got Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiesa in the welterweight division. Number 7, Mackenzie Dern against number 10, Lupe Godinez in the women's strawweight division. I like that fight a lot. And Joel Alvarez and Elvis Brenner to round out the main card in the lightweight division. I don't know. They may bump up. I don't know if they'll bump up Minifield and Mirzakhanov to the main card or not. It's already got 6 fights, so 5 would be fine. But never know. You got a top 15 matchup there. Number 15, Alonzo Minifield. Number 14, Azamat Mirzakhanov in the light heavyweight division. Then, we've talked about these before, so we don't go through every card every time. So you can see those there. So we did see this one announced this week. So August 10th from the Apex in Las Vegas. Main event in the heavyweight division, number 8, Marcin Tybura against number 9, Sergey Spivak. You've got bantamweight matchup here against Toshiomi Kazama and Charlampos Gregoriou, and then Johnny Parsons and Yusaka Kinoshita in the welterweight division are on that schedule so far. So then UFC 305, August 17th, we go to Perth, Australia for the middleweight championship between the much anticipated matchup between Dracus du Plessis, the champion, and the former champion, number 2 contender Israel Adesanya. Flyweight division, number 4 Kai Kara France against number 9 Steve Seg. And I have a big feeling this card is not done yet on the main card. Heavyweight division, number 10 Tai Tuivasa against number 12 Jairzinho Rosenstrike. Junior Tafa, Walter Walker, Li Jianglang, and Carlos Prates. And you've got a ranked women's flyweight matchup, number 14 Casey O'Neill against Teresa Bleda. So then we go to Noche UFC, otherwise known as UFC 306, on September 14th from the Sphere in Las Vegas. Still don't know anything about this one yet, but you would think with, Ultimate Fighter that you would see Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko on here. Your main event, I'm pretty sure that they've got to put Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili as the headliner on this one, but you never know. So, there's just so many things that could happen, but, the names that you're going to hear, you heard Dana White say it's going to be very Mexican heavy, obviously. So you're talking Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez, Diego Lopez, in addition to Alexa Grasso. So who knows what's going to happen, but I think that those are probably the leading contenders right now, because it has to be a huge event. You're not going to spend, I think Dana said $17 million so far that he's spent, and this is kind of a one-off. So this has to be huge. Has to be. So this is going to be one of the best cards you've ever seen in your life. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be awesome. So then Fight Night on September 28th from Paris. Don't know anything about this one yet either. And October 5th in Salt Lake City for UFC 307. And UFC 308, October 26th in Abu Dhabi. So don't know anything about those yet. So there you see, again, next week, that's our lineup for UFC 304. Leon Edwards against Bilal Muhammad, and Tom Aspinall against Curtis Blades. So we do like to take a minute and show a little bit of what we have left. So with Israel Adesanya coming up on that Perth card in August, we do have this redemption that we're waiting on. I got an email a while back about it. I was going to hold out one more time. I think the next email, again, I may have to just cash out and just say, send me what you got. So it's supposed to be getting the throwback signatures from Prism, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But we have these two numbered Prism cards that we were going to put with that and list those on our eBay store, Orange Fire Lots of Lots, but we didn't get a chance to because we haven't got that auto in yet. So got the purple number to 149, got the orange that's numbered to 99. We were hoping to have an auto to throw in with that, but we'll see. We'll see what they come through with. Pretty happy with what they, replaced our BJ pin with, so that was pretty good. Volkan Ozdemir. Just some of our numbered cards that we have left. That one's numbered to 75. He's been doing pretty well lately, so we figured we'd throw that in there. This crack is not on the card. That's on the top loader. Don't know how that happened, but we have two Marvin Vettori autos, so we do have a couple left, and we throw in everything else. So we do have a few numbered cards still laying around. A bunch of parallels from Prism. If anybody's looking for anything in particular, I have a ton. Got a few Alex Pineda rookie cards, Bo Nickel, Aaron Blanchfield, Baby Shark, Tabitha Ricci. So we have a few rookie cards still left. So looking to move those. So you can go, like I said, you can go to our store on eBay, Orange Fire Lots of Lots. You can email me at russ@orange-fire.com and just let me know what you're looking for, what you think about the show, anything you want to talk about anytime. So this is your show as much as it is mine, and I appreciate it. So that is our show for this week. I'd like to come in here, jump in here real quick, and give an instant reaction to all the night's action. And so we come in here after Fight Night at the Apex and knock this out and preview UFC 304. So hope you watch the fights next weekend, and we'll be on Sunday to talk about it, and hopefully that Perth card that we can do a live main event again. So yeah, I appreciate everybody dropping by. This has been a lot of fun. So like and subscribe, and you'll always know when we go live, since we're not exactly on at the same time every time. So I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a great and safe week, and we will talk to you next weekend after UFC 304. Good night, everybody, and see you next time right here on YouTube and the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media.